Well, everyone, good morning and welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas, and I'll be your host this morning. We are proud to be the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in this region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. This morning, we welcome host of the Cabinet, Pastor Joshua Goodman.
Well, good morning, family.
And special guest host, Laura Musler, over here in the corner. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, welcome. And welcoming special guest, Mr. Todd Henderson, running for mayor of Hope Mills.
Thank you for the invite. I'm glad to be here.
Good morning. Happy to have you. So we're going to dive into our show. We appreciate you tuning in and spending time with us this morning. Take a moment to like, share, or follow us on Facebook and look up thecarolinacabinet.com. You can find links to all of our shows and how to listen on your favorite podcast broadcaster. So don't go far. We'll be right back.
Since 2012, Joshua Goodman has been the senior pastor at the Cliffdale Christian Center, a dynamic church and ministry located in West Fayetteville. Join our friend Pastor Goodman for a podcast or a live sermon in person at 6427 Cliffdale Road. Now for today's good news, here is Joshua Goodman.
Well, good morning from the All-American City. This is Pastor Josh, and as always, have I got some good news for you in a time when so many want to unpack, talk about, and discuss all the problems, circumstances, and situations. I'm here to give you some good news. The first part of it may not seem like such good news. Can you believe it? The summer vacay is coming to an end. The kids are prepping to go back to school. Vacations are wrapping up, and summer 2025 is coming to an end. Well, let me say this. Please understand, if you're not from the Tar Heel State, that doesn't mean anything when it pertains to the weather. We've got 2, 3, 4, several months left of hot weather. We're not going to be closing down that part of summertime. The kids are just going back to school. The scripture I want to share with you today comes from King Solomon in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, where he writes, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. There is also a time for children to come home from school, and a time for our children to once again enter those hallowed halls of education and go back to school." For me, this time of year, it's almost like a second new year, beginning to just step back, take a look at 2025, evaluate things I wanted to get done and was able to get done, maybe things I wanted to get done that I wasn't able to get done. Are those things I want to go back and revisit, things I want to still be able to accomplish in 2025? Or have I come to the point where, after taking stock, there's no need for it. I don't need to go back to doing those things. Well, also for me, it's a time to really take a step back and revisit my disciplines, revisit devotions, revisit my schedule, revisit my habits. Once the kids are back in school, we can once again get put on our schedule and doing things for us like morning devotions, morning breakfasts, kids going off to school, being able to do my workout time, all of that. And my point is this, is that during this time of year, as the kids are prepping to go back to school, what's wrong with taking a look and saying, hey, what can I do with my schedule? How can I live my very best life? Friend, your life is yours. What you do with it is up to you. We can spend that time doing absolutely nothing, or we can spend that time savoring every moment of every day, doing all that we can possibly do with every day, every hour, every minute, every second, every heartbeat, every breath that God has given us. My encouragement today is get out there and do something with what God has given you. This is Pastor Josh, and that is your good news.
The cancel culture is not welcome here. You're listening to the Conservative Carolina Cabinet, Eastern North Carolina's most offensive talk show to the freeloading left.
And offensive we will be. Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
Good to see everybody again. So we have a busy cabinet. We have Mr. Todd Henderson here joining us today, running for mayor of Hope Mills. But we got some housekeeping to get out of the way, as we usually do. So I'm going to go. Do you want to go first? What did you do last week,
I mean, my
Pastor
stuff
Josh?
is broken record, right? It's been the same for the past 3 weeks. We are prepping for school. This past week had a huge church work day, laying down mulch and mowing the lawn and doing the weeding, I mean, just everything.
You're still doing all that? I thought she was done.
No, dude. No, it's a big campus. And even now today, we're not quite done, but we are etching very close to getting done.
You're on a deadline, sir.
We got to be done in the next couple of days. And then other than that, we did, of course, the prayer breakfast last week at Manna Church.
And congratulations, good. Do I call it a sermon or just?
I
just like hearing you speak, and that's it was nice, and had the Lord's chicken there. It was good.
And it was good. Yeah, I mean, thanks to Pastor Chris who invites us to come out and share his house, and just the worship team there at Manna.
I think we saw Laura there that morning too.
Yeah,
I was there. I got my workout, my squats in. So it was a lot of up and down.
One of those pastors, I don't remember which one. Stand up, sit down, stand up. So
yeah. There was the young one. I think he was just trying to get us our blood flowing.
That's what it was.
The young guy. Yeah. So great job with the prayer breakfast last week. I think it was well attended.
I think so.
Usual. I mean, I was surprised. I only saw one elected.
Or one
there in the room. If I missed, I only saw Mr. Benavente.
That's the only one I saw.
Is that the only one you saw? What about you, Laura?
That's the only one I saw.
Okay.
Also.
Yep. And the thing about it is it's tough this time of year because we are coming. I mean, church attendance. I mean, it is like a roller coaster because some weeks half of the people are out at vacation in the mountains at the beach, and then the other half everybody shows up. And so
you see, Todd, that's why we have Pastor Josh. He gives everybody grace. I will not. They're running for office. They should have been there to show their face.
Well, they're probably getting all of their vacations in before the.
Those poor guys.
Yeah.
There's no sympathy for them, but I appreciate the grace.
I wish. I mean, I would have liked to have seen them because I mean, when you, literally, if you're running, you should be at. You
need all the help. You know what? It's all the help you can get.
Yes.
As a candidate, as running, you're gonna learn what that is soon, Mr. Henderson. But
point taken.
It's just.
Point taken.
See, I have a different idea. If you don't normally do it. Don't be
then
fake.
Don't be fake. Yeah,
look at you.
And that's a good. That is a good point. Well,
but
we do normally see some electeds there. So anyway, I feel like it's election season. There's definitely events that these guys need to hit to show their face and show their support for the community. Plus, walk out of there in a state of grace.
Yes.
I mean, that's what it's for.
Yep.
As a business person, I never thought prayer and business went together.
But they do.
But absolutely they do. And that's why I like what the Chamber does. So I held the Candidates Academy last Friday.
I wanted to ask you.
So there's a picture I'm going to share on our Facebook page for the Cabinet. There was 18 attendees in that room.
Wow.
And these are all individuals.
They were all, I believe they were all City of Fayetteville candidates. Okay. We invited everyone. Okay. And some of the incumbents didn't come because they run for office 3 times. They get it. But there was a lot of feverish note-taking in the room when I looked around. We had some great speakers. We had Commissioner Chair Deviere. We had Representative Charles Smith. We had Diane Parfit. She's a former elected, but she has that bookshop downtown. So she spoke about the Downtown Alliance and Cool Spring.
I love Diane. My first event with the Chamber, she actually invited me to sit with her at her table.
Okay.
I love Diane. Yeah.
She's a good people, and she has been part of the revitalization downtown. We also had Mr. Penson. I believe his name is Bob Penson. He's with the Arts Council.
Okay.
And one of my
one
of my favorite parts about the whole day, we powered through lunch. So I gave him boxed lunches from Baldino's.
That's the tough part, man. Through lunch and then
but we kept going because see, last time we did it 2 years ago, it was 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on a Saturday.
Ooh.
This time was 9 a.m. to 2 scheduled, and we were done right on time by going through lunch. But at the end of it, I kind of facilitated like the speakers going up and asking questions. So it was active for me that day. But I like to ask the questions of the group.
Yeah.
And the one that I pose is, why are we got the Arts Council here? You guys are running for office. What does this matter?
Yeah.
And being able to talk to the candidates about this is our community. You want better schools, you want better jobs, you want better quality of life. This all goes together.
Let me ask, were there, was it all first-time runners, or were there any incumbents who showed up?
I'll look at the guest list and get back with you on that.
Okay.
I know there were people that have run before.
Yeah.
Remember the young man we had, John Ashford, that was the write-in candidate?
Yep.
He got like 80 names.
Yeah, yep.
He was there.
Okay.
And one of the very studious note takers. It's just, I went into that Candidates Academy thinking we don't have anybody that can tie their shoes running for office. And I had a much better feeling when I left. Todd, I might say a couple things that are like that, so just get ready.
Any of our,
I'm enjoying the,
all right.
laughs, and I'm thinking, well, I keep my shoes tied all the time.
Yeah,
so.
okay, that'll
were any of our current commissioners or council members there?
No.
Okay.
There was Antonio Jones. He was a former councilman. So he was there. But again, the incumbents, this is kind of old hat.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm going to do with government relations is I'm going to try to make this a standing event every year. And with a core of like, say, 2/3 of it will be the same. And then like there'll be an elective every year. There'll be something unique that's going on topically in the city
right now,
or the county or the state that we need to know about. Mr. Deviere gave a presentation of what the city, the county, and the state and federal does, because you got a lot of guys out there talking about what they can do, and it's it's like I want to doge the city. Well, this isn't the federal government. That's called an audit.
I want the city to work on the schools. Wait, time out.
No, the city doesn't touch the schools. So that's really what this is for. And my vice chair was there. Angie Hedgepeth was there from Longleaf Pines, and she held a candidate. What was it called? It wasn't Candidates Academy.
Forum?
No, they did call it the Candidates Academy. They stole my name.
The Academy,
they stole our name. But their Candidates Academy was very much the nuts and bolts of like, if you run a campaign, then you need an account and you need a campaign man, and here's how you door knock. So anyway, so that was my week. Laura?
Let's see. I had a great weekend. I babysat all three of my I have more than three, but three of my grandkids came over and spent Sunday with me.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, that's one word for it.
Yeah. Well, it's wonderful when they come.
It's even more wonderful when they leave.
Right.
Yeah. So other than that, my week was pretty slow.
That's okay. We don't all have to be out here, fighting like gladiators.
247-365. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's good to take a little break. So, Mr. Henderson, what, you got anything you've been up to?
A lot of this, that, and the other. But I've been able to talk to quite a few people recently, either online or, more importantly in person, having just discussions about what they're seeing. And while I'm not doing that, I'm either working or spending time with my littlest campaign manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that. You brought your muscle with you.
I did.
Today.
Yeah.
And how old is your daughter?
She's 7.
Okay. Yeah, she was. I said, "Oh, that's his campaign manager." She says, "No, I'm just his kid."
Yeah. Well, we were doing hokey pokey before the started.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's been really great having to spend time with her, because I didn't actually get to spend time with my older two because I'm either. Sorry, Jim. In the field or out doing stuff.
Right.
And since I don't, that was a.
Well, have you found that since you announced you're running, that a lot of your free time has now been eaten up with listening and getting messages
why would that ever be a thing?
I'm just saying that's the life.
No, it's it's a lot of it is really, for me, it's gone from, and I think we'll probably end this up later, or talk about it later, but it's gone from, all right, well, I'm tired of complaining. Now I'm going to do what I can do. Mm-hmm. And even if, I'm not the guy, but at least, putting a foot in the race and saying, hey, guys, this is what I have to offer, and let's make this work.
Right. Well, bringing attention to the issues that were, quote, being griped about will help maybe make some change.
Yeah.
And that's the hope. So before we jump into the local politic, we do have some national or local stuff. So anybody see the article in Fayetteville Observer about the MLK Park being stalled?
No, I did not.
Okay, bring me up to the MLK Park.
So
where was it going?
There's another MLK Park that was going to go around FSU.
Okay.
And both, let's see, now I'm drawing a blank, Mr. Floyd, Elmer Floyd, and Charles Evans, former commissioner, have both reached out to the NC auditor to ask them why this project has been stalled. They have a board that's putting this thing together, and basically they're not doing anything. They've had the money, and the money's going to expire if they don't. And you're talking multi-million-dollar deal.
So the board, is it a political board? Like, is it government, or is it just like...
I think it's quasi-governmental. And one of the things that Evans and Floyd recommended to the auditor, or to the newspaper at least, put this project underneath Parks and Rec, so that I think the problem has been you've got a small group of guys that don't have the technical expertise to move a contracting project, so they're creating that system instead of just handing it to Parks and Rec.
That is no shade even saying that.
No.
An individual who has been a part of several building project, multi-million-dollar, I mean, it is a process, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
So let me get you some numbers here. So it was going to be... It's been on the vision since 2018, but was first proposed in the 1990s. It was going to be a 120-foot spire to be built on Blue Street that already features the civil rights leader. So if you've ever seen that park,
I know exactly,
it's with the statue and the fence he's holding on to. And so, yeah, they're not happy about this, for sure. But you're talking about 2.5 county commissioners, $2.5 million from the county,
and the money's allocated.
Yeah,
it's there.
City of Fayetteville pledged $2 million. The state budgeted $2.5 million. So that's $7 million for another park, and right next to the one park.
Where is the money?
Well, and there is some implication that there was some money transferred out without board approval. So we'll see if we can reach out to Mr. Evans or Mr. Floyd and get some more backstory on it. I mean, that's. For a $7 million park project in the middle of, this is according to Representative Charles Smith of the Candidates Academy, this next few years of budgeting in the state is going to be concentrating on your needs, not your wants, because of everything with Helene and everything else. And the Medicaid changes has depleted so we need to be really thinking about where we put this money. And $7 million for a park.
Well, and I'm a Fisher cut bait kind of guy. If you're going to use it, use it. If you're not, then let's use it somewhere else where it's needed.
Well,
Can it just be transferred? Doesn't it need to be used somewhere else?
$2.5 million is a lot of point-in-use filters for people across the river.
Okay,
from the county.
That, but when it's allocated, can you just
they can. They have to return it.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Typical government.
Yeah.
Use it. Need it all, or you get less next year. So. All right.
But what would they be able to? And I don't want to beat a dead horse. They would only be able to keep the $2 million they put in. They wouldn't be able to keep the $2 million state funds or city funds.
No, that would all go back.
Yeah.
So county, state, and the city have all put in funds, so they could all claw it back. So other big debate going on lately this week that I saw was about National Public Broadcasting,
PBS.
So check this out. So. PBS and NPR,
this is good. I love the story.
They're dying on the vine. Taxpayers are the watering can. So nationally, CBP nets about $535 million, of which about 70% goes to local stations. And I'll break that down in a minute. So in North Carolina, UNC-TV and NPR affiliates like WUNC alone got about $800,000 last year. So nationally, CPP's funding is now slashed about $1.1 billion, but that's going to make them shut down operations entirely by 2026. So that's some pretty big stuff. And the percent of North Carolina PBS gets about 15% of their funding from the CPB.
And
say
where
that
does
three
the
times
other 85 come from?
Sponsors like you.
Yeah,
So this is what I want. It's like PBS wants to act like a cable network, but it gets paid like a charity.
Yeah.
And
if they're going to be a charity, be a charity. I mean, I mean, for me, right, over COVID, we had to cut our budgets 30-40%. If you're having to cut your budget because you're not getting national funding by 15%, I mean, I'm not trying to be harsh.
15%.
15% is not an overwhelming.
It's not doomsday.
We have had to do that.
So, do you think the service is still vital in rural and underserved areas, or do you think private media like YouTube and TikTok, Facebook have overtaken the importance of needing it?
Well, I'll go in and because I do have grandkids also. I love the idea of PBS. I love Masterpiece Theater, things like that. I love the stuff for kids. But I can tell you, my grandkids who range from 2 to 8, they probably would not even know what PBS is.
Right.
All that they're getting comes from wherever YouTube,
the devices,
online device, app, whatever.
Well, and that's one big argument to drop the funding. The other part is, do you think it's outlived its mission, its original mission?
Yeah, I think
100%. It's
Okay.
no longer viable in this. No child is going and sitting down and watching TV anymore.
Yeah.
They're looking at the phone, looking at podcasts or YouTube or whatever. So if they move their platform over to one of those things, that would be, I think, a lot better.
Well, that, and it would most likely be a whole lot more economical.
Correct.
It would
Yep.
probably be much more. They would cut that 15%, right? Easy
Well,
right
and so
there.
that brings us to this. Is it perceived like ideological bias? Like people are mad about the kind of content. We've all seen the video during the Trump campaign and after about them making like videos for Iraqi kids.
Yep.
And that upset some people. But do you think it's just if they do it, if they talk to our kids, that it should be non-ideological?
100%.
Yeah. I absolutely believe that. And even if people are being biased, if what they're being biased about is still a fair judgment, then it's got to be considered. It's like, hey, we have to look at this fairly and say it's not reaching the audience you want it to reach. So,
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, why do we keep it?
Well, and evaluating its use,
Yeah.
evaluating its effectiveness,
But
and
didn't they do a study and there were no Republicans working in PBS? They're all Democrats, so that is leaning one way. I would say.
Yeah, and their ideology.
well, so should that matter when deciding whether to fund it or not? If there's just no Republican representation or other side representation?
Yeah, I think they need to balance. Everything should be balanced.
Okay.
In my personal
I agree.
opinion, or go get private funding and be anything that you want to be. But if you're going to use public funding, both sides need to be heard, in my personal opinion. But what do I know?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just a member of the cabinet. That's all. No big deal.
Well, one last thing I'll say. It's like public broadcasting. It felt like it was cutting edge when we were kids growing up.
Yeah.
That was where the place to be. But to me, it's like a rotary phone now.
Right. I loved PBS.
I loved it.
It's nice to know it's there.
Yeah.
So I saw a comedian, Tom Segura's wife. I can't remember her name, but she was talking about, have you seen The Neighborhood? It's gone to lately.
Yeah.
She says
Sesame Street.
She said that who was it? The garbage pail guy.
Oscar the
Grouch
Oscar the
is
Grouch.
now in a recycling bin,
Wow.
and that Cookie Monster is now skinny.
Really?
Yeah, and she's like, you're supposed to learn not to overeat from that gluttonous POS. You're not supposed to, but now he's like on a diet and everything. So it's not
vegan,
it's not the Sesame Street, but I just love where she said
Organic.
the street has gone to. So, all right, so that takes care of our national, local stuff.
And again,
I just wanted to chat.
I hate to see it go because it has sentimental value for our generation.
It does.
But
look it up on YouTube. You can watch all
there you
reruns.
go. That's
You can watch all the oldies.
That's
and they're
exactly
there.
right.
Well, what they need to
sure
do
are.
is learn how to monetize it, like Paramount or Netflix or somebody, and have their own. If Disney and Netflix have to sing for their supper,
Yep.
then maybe they need it to as well. So, we're going to focus now on Mr. Henderson. Are you ready? He's kind of like, go get him. Where is he? So, in about a minute, can you tell us about yourself, background, and then what compelled you to run for office?
Well, I've been in the area since 2002. Got to Hope Mills, Hope Mills in 2008, when I actually moved from within the area. And honestly, I've been here I was only stationed one other place, and I came straight back.
Okay.
I fell into that black hole, if you will. But
So you were Army.
yeah, I was Army. I spent, like I said, other than just being one rotation out to Korea, I've been here the whole time. 2008, like I said, I moved down the street from to my sister and her husband, and she eventually moved away, and we moved further into Hope Mills after that. So, there's a lot going on, and I think a lot of it, and it's just,
So what made you want to run for office?
Well,
I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Since I'm a politician now,
Don't.
well, let's say you're going to be you're aspiring to be an elected official.
But,
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
But no, I think that there's a lot of leadership challenges that are going on, and they're not being answered.
Okay.
And I think that there is a lot of other improprieties that are going on. that will not get changed, and I think that has a lot to do with the upcoming election in November, which you will definitely see a huge change of the Board of Commissioners, if not a complete change, coming up minus one or two, well, at least three of them, obviously, I believe are going to change.
Right. Well, is that people chose not to run? How many people chose not to run?
2 chose not to run.
Okay.
Mr. Legge is,
he was the elderly gentleman up there.
His health issues, and Dr. McCrae said that she's not going to run this time period, so that leaves 3. So I know that there's going to be at least, I'm banking on 3 seats changing.
All right.
Minimum.
Why mayor and not just a city council member?
Well, there's a lot of other individuals who are well-versed in far as all of the happenings of the town, who've been here for a long time and know the town in and out and have been involved in the past. And for me, the biggest thing was leadership and helping make sure that they can do what they have to do. And if something, being able to address things in a different manner than what they're doing. Help facilitate for them the opportunity and give them the ability to properly do their job.
All right. So, and again, I've been involved with Hope Mills as a business. I've been involved in like a Hope Mills chatter group. So I see the discourse.
Was there ever a Baldino's in Hope Mills?
There would have been.
Oh, there would have been.
Yeah, it's a smoke shop now, so people are not so happy with me over there. But hey, guys,
I'm not going to say anything.
Listen,
but
they pay good rent, and when their lease is up, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
I don't use the smoke shop. I did use the Baldino's.
Yes. I know, and I miss our Hope Mills people, but I just got too much gray too quick. So that's the best I can tell you, Todd. So, out of all the stuff that I read about, though, what is the most critical thing that really there had to be a moment when you're like, you know what, enough. I've got to run because.
So one of the big things that I found out and was experiences how the 4-year staggered terms went down. And I've had the discussion with plenty of people, and I've told them my point of view. And I've told them I agree with the why. I do. It makes sense to me. It is something I think that it needs to be done properly. But I think, one, it was done improperly, very quickly, and it was done in a very improper way. Something like this, in my opinion, should have absolutely gone to another vote for the citizens of Hope Mills. With that being said, in my opinion, I think that there is a huge trust issue that they are starting to see, and that's one reason they do not want the 4-year staggered terms, and that they want just they're going to take their chances every 2 years. Now, like I said, I've to the opponents of the 4-year staggered terms, I've discussed this, and I've hey, I respect your opinion, and just so you know, I do not 100% like the way that this went down. I find it was very disgusting.
Well, a couple of years ago, City of Fayetteville wanted to do the same thing, and what I found was that they are statutorily allowed to change their terms. It's like without getting public referendum, because I think maybe within the last 10 years, City of Fayetteville put it on a ballot, and it failed. So
council can do that. They have power to.
They do have the authority.
Let me just, an outlandish question, but only 4 years? Who says we can't do 6 or 8 or 12?
I think the option is 4.
It's only 4.
I think it's illegal. And a lot of that gets handled by the League of Municipalities.
Okay.
That kind of sets the standard
kind of parameters there.
Yes. Go ahead, Tom.
And so to follow up on what you're saying, for the Board of Commissioners, yes, the Board of Commissioners took a vote on it, and they did, within their legal representation, have the ability to do that, make that change. However, again, it's why are you forcing this change out when you have a public hearing and nobody comes out to support your public hearing? And you have those same officials, again, I'm sure I will change my mind about things. So I understand people's minds change. You grow, from experiences. But what I don't think is acceptable is when you have said, no, the people have to vote on this, and then you go down this rabbit hole in this way. There's a difference between changing your mind about the way you stand on something, or the way how you do it, if that makes sense.
Okay. So
because I have very limited knowledge when it comes to Hope Mills and the way their government is set up. You use Board of Commissioners. Are there city council members?
No city council members, just Board of Commissioners.
And a mayor.
Mayor, town manager.
And town manager. And how many council members are there?
A total of 5.
Total of 5. So that brings up an interesting question, right? Because in Fayetteville, don't we have like an even number, and then the mayor serves as any tiebreaker?
9 districts and 1 mayor.
And 1 mayor.
It's 10.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, with that, there's a, looking at policy, with policy being the face of the town, and definitely, if something comes up where I think if the mayor should be speaking up for the citizens, he should do that, and that's part of what what I'm doing. And there's a lot going on, and I don't necessarily want to get too deep into it, but
at the same time, we all live, eat, breathe, and sleep politics.
Yes, we do.
How about for those people that are tuning in that don't know exactly what's going on in Hope Mills?
Yeah, good question.
Well, the reason I don't want to say that is because there's a lot, like I said before, there seems to be a lot of impropriety, and there's definitely a lot, in my opinion.
What would be an example of the impropriety that we're talking about? I'd like to speak in specifics if we can. And if it's in the newspaper or public record, you're totally safe. So,
Well, and that's the thing is not necessarily on public record. I've had people come to me in confidentiality about the way things are being done and what people have spoken to. And if you're within Fayetteville Hope Mills, and you ask around about how people feel, I literally have had people excited that I'm running. I didn't even know that they knew I was running. It's like, hey, I'm definitely voting for you. I'm like,
cool.
We need to get back together, man. Here's my phone number.
Well, you're supposed to hand them a donor envelope and say, "Here, give me $10, and here's a yard."
Well, I couldn't really give them a donor envelope over the email, but yes,
Peter can let me know.
I got a link for you. You can just
that's why you hire the resource center.
There you go.
There you go. So, and if I'm overstepping, let me know. But so Fayetteville, our government, for years when I was younger. And not my terms that people around me used, but they used the term good old boy system.
Right.
Where it was like, hey, my brother Jim Bob was this and he was that, and so we're going to make sure that this one gets over here. And there was a real
nepotism almost.
Nepotism,
yeah.
I was going to say, cohesion, but in a bad way.
Pastor Josh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So there you go. Yeah, I mean
that's all.
That's
yes.
Yes. Okay.
And it's not nepotism getting people, not necessarily with prominent or capable people, but just yes,
a lot of Gotcha. Okay.
They found a lot of positions further down the trough.
Yeah.
For certain people, I guess, and that's politics is politics.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's just
understood.
Unfortunately, there's a certain part of that that's going to be.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not arguing that, but at some point there has to be a line that's drawn when it's again eroding good order and discipline.
Well, and I think, too, when an area gets large enough, it's going to demand that you break from that system.
And that's what I was going to say, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, because we know how
when have you been humble?
the next big topic.
Yes, exactly. So and that's me saying that. So everybody,
you can get real spiritual.
Hold on real tight.
You drop the H and it's humble.
So humble, yeah. So we'll get to that later. So I've witnessed the growth in Hope Mills. When I first came back from school in 1998 and I took over working out there, Hope Mills was a 2-lane road. At that time, they were expanding it to 4 lanes into over there by Camden and all. And now we're at the point 20 years later.
Dude, you're getting old.
Yeah, I know. So now we need 6 lanes on that road because of the growth. So how much has the town grown? Because I feel like that a lot of the small town feel is what covered up a lot of what we're seeing now as growing pains and improprieties, because they're not able to still do what they were able to get away with.
But let me ask you something. Since you grew up in Hope Mills, I won't say how long ago, but
I just worked out there. I didn't really grow up.
Okay.
Yeah. You're good. You're in a safe space. You're good.
Okay. How big is Hope Mills compared to City of Fayetteville?
I'm hoping you got those numbers. I thought it was about 70,000.
So I will tell you right now, Hope Mills is no greater than 10 square miles.
Right.
Okay.
I believe the number for Fayetteville is what, 147?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
right. But we're
right.
spread out.
Okay. So we currently have about 20,000 people in 10 square miles. And then they're talking about next 5 years almost getting up to 30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So a 50% increase.
Where is that going to go in the next 5 years, and where are we going to put them? Does that, again, I like to use that, sort of joke, is that, what's that evil word that starts with an A, annexation? Is that going to be a thing? How is that going to work?
Where would you guys grow to? Because you don't want to grow towards Gray's Creek. I mean, let's face it, the water out there is...
They won't be able to annex because Fayetteville messed that up for the whole state.
See,
we did it so poorly in 1998, I think it was, that it cost our mayor his job.
Yes, it did.
And it wasn't so... It wasn't that it got executed poorly. It's just that it was not a great idea to just double people's taxes and not have a way to provide the services when you're doubling their taxes with adding a city
Well, it was
tax.
doubling their taxes and then and also charging them an additional $5,000 for water hookup and sewage and things.
Right.
It wasn't just taxation,
it was a whole big mess. But because of our good works as City of Fayetteville, we have prevented any other county or municipality in the state of North Carolina from doing that.
So they're not able to do that now.
The only way they can annex is if they are, say I'm a property owner outside the line and I want them to bring their utilities, if they have them or whatever, I can self-annex.
Okay.
I can voluntarily annex myself and get the permits, and then I get roped into. That's the only way.
So I mean, and that's really one of the, a couple of the big issues is just like, again, where are we going to put all these people? Are we going to just build continuous apartment buildings? What's it? I mean, that's also going to bring on lots more traffic, lots more, whether or not you want to admit it, crime. Again, everybody understands the town has to grow, and it's not about not growing. It's about a methodical growth and being very conscious about the limited space that we have. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why people within the town government want us to be a metropolitan. We're a town. Mm-hmm. We do not have the space to be a metropolitan
that's what
area.
I mean, there's not enough land,
Well, it might not appear that way, but I think there's a way to satisfy both sides of this equation. Businesses are going to follow the growth. Yeah. So you see people on Facebook all the time, give me my Trader Joe's, give me my whatever. And it's like, look, dude, if the money's there, it will come.
Those same people won't go out. They don't support local businesses ever. No, it's like, come on, go buy a sandwich.
Yeah, no, they won't. Yeah, well, they sure did in Hope Mills. But you have to understand that growth is a factor of people desiring to be there. Okay, and those apartments are going to get built if there's a demand for housing. So what the town can do is relax or change their zoning requirements so that you can build up.
Yeah.
Or you don't build up.
Oh, well, that's the decision for smarter guys than me.
And
honestly, I think it's for guys smarter than the Board of Commissioners, whatever makeup is on the Board of Commissioners, because you need experts in that field to help you write those rules. Mm-hmm. I think as elected officials that we have to defer and delegate a lot.
How does and again, this may be just my lack of knowledge, but how does the DuPont water, table, the Grays Creek, how does that affect? Because you guys are neighbors to Grays Creek, right? How does the water affect you guys?
I know as far as I know the flooding goes, and there's a lot of things I know I have to get really smart on real fast. But the one thing is one of the many things I like to do actually is talk to people and listen and learn from everybody. I know I don't have all the answers, but I'm more than willing to sit down and listen and see other people's point of view and get the data on it. And I think that's the one thing that we also have to understand is there has to be actual data shown or seen and explained to everybody on why things are being done the way they are. We always had the saying is information is not yours to keep.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you can just pass on the info, let everybody make the decision or help you with the decisions. Because if you look at it, the mayor and the board of commissioners are really trying to work for the people, the citizens.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to. So not doing annexation, what kind of growth do you think Hope Mills will see over the next? So let me understand too. If you get elected, your term would be 2 years or 4 years.
Well, right now they're saying 4.
Yeah. So say it stays that. But what would the growth look like in your opinion over the next 4 years?
Well, I think one of the first things that we have to do is get a handle on exactly what's going on and where people were trying to go with everything, and get see what's actually happening, and let everybody know. It's like, hey guys, well, one, obviously, I keep saying letting everybody know, because like I said, information is not ours to keep, especially when it comes to things like that. Say, okay, now let's see, now that we're here, this is what's currently in the works. Are we keeping it, or do we want how are we going to move forward? Because I honestly don't believe there's there's an excess amount of people that's trying to make 10 square miles of Hope Mills to a 30,000 citizen town.
Yeah.
I don't see it, and I know I've talked to people, and I've actually have friends who are like, yeah, we're out of here. Or they was like thinking like, I've lived my whole life here and I want to leave because I just don't. It's just not what it used to be. And I came from a town where when I left in 2002, it actually had 22 square miles, but it had about 20,000 people. And so when I left in 2002, I'm like, this is too crowded for me. And when I go home now, it's about 40,000 with 20. I'm like, Mom, I love you, but I've been here. I've been here a week. I got to go back to
Todd,
brag.
There's been a lot of controversy over the dam. What are your thoughts about the dam?
Well, with the dam, there seems to be a lot of controversy on what's actually been installed on the dam, and you can see that individuals are saying that, well, that hasn't been installed on the dam. As far as I would say it was the boom, and then you see reports out there that actually it has been installed. So why are we actually saying that things aren't been installed when you have apparent trackers that are price sheets about these things? I know that was it 2003.
It seems like the dam has been a bane of my existence out there since.
For a long time.
Well, because, when that lake is open, lots of people visiting down there, lots of subs get sold.
Yep.
I was younger, so the girls in the bikinis was nice. But
don't even lie. But not just when you were younger, man.
But when it went out, when the dam burst, it was out for several years before they repaired it.
And then it went out again.
And then it went out again. Yeah.
But there absolutely has to be something within the budget that there is money for potential dam repairs or generalized maintenance, because we all know if you maintain your car as you should, it will last you a whole lot longer.
So you're saying that there's not a built-in part of the budget that,
from what I've been able to see, but again, it's just one of those things. Again, getting down into all of that, and again, if it's not there, then we should have it. And again, as everybody knows, I'm still trying to catch my feet and learn here. And like I said, if somebody wants to point out that it's there, it's there. But it needs to be. We need to ensure that money is readily available if it's there.
Have you seen any projections? Because property taxes went up on average 83%. The values went up 83%.
Oh, tell me,
and
brother.
Hope Mills actually passed the largest above revenue neutral budget.
Really?
Yeah. So like City of Fayetteville came 6 cents above revenue neutral, and I believe the county came within a couple pennies. If you can confirm that. I think.
Have you got your tax bill yet?
No, not yet. No. Well, next month. Have you?
No.
No, not
but
yet.
Look, I told my bookkeeper, I'm like, look, you go ahead and start squirreling away some money now, because it will not look like what it looked like last year.
Well, if you need anybody to do collections, give me a call. So
from my understanding on that, it's one of those. Well, from my understanding, it stayed the same. However, with the property values going up an extra $100,000, that's where that tax increase came up. So it's we're revenue neutral on our tax. But then again,
but they passed it above revenue neutral.
It changed from the 45 to 51.
No, it's so that was City of Fayetteville, I think, went from 4. So what was Hope Mills' new rate?
I think it was 45, 46. I may be incorrect.
I thought it was like a 16-cent increase.
But property values have more than doubled when you got your assessment.
On average, 83%. So yeah,
well,
then
doubled. With that, you also have inflation. So
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So where I was going with
shouldn't
that,
the tax rate go down? So
that's what it's supposed. That's what revenue neutral is.
Right.
So we just doubled the value, and here's the new rate that we need to pull to get that former budget amount. But your town passed not that amount, but plus several cents. So there's going to be a large windfall of public funding. Better or worse, people are going to pay their property taxes. I think Cumberland County has a 98 or 97% rate of collection on property taxes. So, which is compared to larger cities, they have like in the 70s and 80s. So we do a good job of collecting our property taxes. So will there be money? Then if there's that much of a windfall, do you think you can get money for the dam?
And then those are a lot of questions that would definitely have to be immediately addressed when the new board convenes next year or into this year.
Well, do you think maybe we need to put our government on a diet?
I think that everything a government spends when it's not necessarily needed is, I don't want to say theft, but it's definitely the responsibility of the government to spend taxpayer money responsibly.
Taxation is theft, and we're missing Miss Carrie J right now, who would say, and I'll say it for her, fire the Uniparty. Yep. Okay?
The what party?
Fire the Uniparty.
The Uniparty.
So we're just missing Miss Carrie this afternoon. Okay. All right. So, guys, you got some more questions for Mr. Henderson? I mean,
I think I said, it was education for me.
I think we thoroughly put him on the spot. That's for sure.
I'm sure it won't be the first time.
You're handling it.
He
handled it with poise, and he's sweating a little bit, but it's a little hot in here too.
Well, yeah, it's because of 100%.
Well, because we've been on Haiti's front porch the last 3 weeks. But did you enjoy the weather this weekend?
Oh, brother, like I said, we did our work.
Oh, my gosh, it was so
on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Holy smokeronis.
Beautiful.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
I almost put pants on.
Yeah.
I was like, I said, did I miss summer? Is fall here already?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Go away with your pumpkin spice, white woman. We don't want to see.
I don't like pumpkin spice.
So good. Thank God you're not the typical white broad. So.
Well, seeing that I'm a Rodriguez, no, I'm not the typical white
No,
broad.
you're not. Okay. All right. You're a white presenting individual. We'll deal with that later. Okay. So, Todd, what's your favorite political movie or TV show? Or do you just stay away from it when you're not dealing with it?
Well, I will tell you this. I was raised on Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity when he was local to Atlanta.
Okay.
And Neil Bortz and all those guys. And far as it really depends what I'm in the mood for. If I'm with some good, hard-hitting, straight-up national stuff, there's a couple of my podcasts that I'll watch, and just everyday kind of culture. One of the culture commentaries is for me is the Brandon Tatum show, Officer Tatum show.
Okay.
I like Veep.
Veep? Yes. Veep. Yes.
I'm sitting here getting all nerdy, and she's like, I like Veep.
I like Veep. No, this is supposed to be, for fun. Like, what do you do?
Far as Veep was good. It was good. So
I want you to introduce your campaign manager here, because she's obviously yes. Come on, put her on camera. So,
oopsie daisy, there she is.
Well, welcome to the Carolina Cabinet.
Wave.
Say hello. Hi. Say hello. So, all right. So, are you his campaign manager or just his kid? Just his kid? Okay. Well, you can be just a kid for right now and enjoy that. Okay, because this whole adulting thing, it's a lie. It's
not what it's cracked up.
Yeah,
to
it's
be.
not. No,
I remember. I didn't want to be an adult. Now I'm like, I want to be a kid.
Yes.
But to get a plug in there, if you do need a campaign manager, we do have the Candidate Resource Center.
Laura is more than available. So,
is that the second or third one?
Probably the third.
Third plug?
Yeah. We're not shy.
Not that anybody's counting.
No shame. No shame.
Unapologetically. I didn't even talk any smack about the GOP board itself. So, no, I told the chairman, Bruce, we were having a discussion. I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to make another text thread and talk mess about you then. If you don't want me to do it in the public chat, I'll just do it in some private with my other friends. Be that way. So, Todd, tell us about where we can find out about you so we can share some links with you. Or on our show, at least.
So right now you can find me on Facebook.
Okay.
I believe it is Todd for Hope Mills. Put that in your search bar. You'll see a stunning picture of me during the cool North Carolina No, it was a miserable day. So right now I'm doing everything really on my own. So as I'm able to, I do updates and trying to get everything taken care of so that I can move forward and hopefully use use y'all's or not y'all's organization, but the Candidate Resource Center at some point.
Yes. Well, we'd appreciate it. Love to have you.
Do it.
Never heard of it.
So
now she hasn't heard of it.
all of a sudden, right?
Was that one of the ads you have on your script to read?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was looking at it's Todd Henderson for Hope Mills, North Carolina.
There he is.
Yeah.
There it is.
There he is.
Okay, well, Mr. Henderson, it was a pleasure having you and your campaign daughter manager here. I'm so. Are they your whole family?
This is my secret weapon.
Her whole family's last name is Henderson.
That's right.
Remember that.
And they're all voting for him.
Yes, absolutely. You going to vote for Daddy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think you are going to be the secret campaign weapon.
Yes.
Because nobody can say no if you say, "Will you vote for my daddy?"
That's right.
My two sisters and my Sophia that just spend more time with Dad. Only me.
Well, you're a lucky gal. So, Mr. Anderson, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being here. And next up, we have Mr. Tony Brown.
Thank you. It was wonderful finally meeting everybody, especially you, Pastor Josh.
Yep, nice meeting you, sir.
And hopefully I'll be able to come back again.
Yep,
All right.
Great.
We'll see you soon. Thank you. Well, everybody, good afternoon. This is Peter Pappas with the Carolina Cabinet, here to tell you that election season is in full swing. In the city of Fayetteville alone, we have 10 people running for mayor. Join us at thecarolinacabinet.com as we put the screws to the people that are asking for your vote. Hopefully see you soon. And everybody, welcome back to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas, and I'm here in studio with Pastor Joshua Goodman.
Good morning, family.
Mrs. Laura Musler.
Good morning.
And joining us for the second half, Mr. Tony Brown. What's good? So, just enjoyed a nice long talk with candidate for Hope Mills Mayor, Mr. Todd Henderson. So we wish him luck. And we do have a full cast. I want to say this. So I think every week from now to the election, we have not one but two guests.
Nice.
A
Good.
night. So we are packed full. And Laura just says, tell her the episode she's not. I don't want her.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Which, how could nobody not want you?
Always.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean,
You know.
as a help to fill a microphone.
Yeah, I got you. Well, you know, you
There
also
are certain
you're
people that
more
I definitely want to be involved in those.
I know you've heard this otherwise, but you're more than just a fancy mouthpiece. You know, you got some brains about you.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
know.
Just another pretty face.
I wasn't. See, I don't know. She's married. I got to be careful. So
Right.
Anyway,
I'm
all right.
married,
So
but I'm a pastor, so I'm allowed to.
you're allowed to do things. Yeah. Okay.
There you
yeah.
go.
I'm kind of exempt.
So Tony, you found your way to the cabinet. So what brings you in tonight, or this morning, or whatever? We're going to pretend like what time it is right now.
A few things that the evolution of when I first moved out here until now, and started getting into more of the next transition and bringing money to the city and opportunities. Started a gaming company.
Okay.
I had a event last weekend, and people was driving from Texas, New York. It was bigger than.
So did you release that video game?
Yes, we partnered up with Epic on Fortnite.
Okay.
And we created a map of Fort Bragg, and we did it in honor of the fallen soldiers. So we get fallen soldiers and put them in the map, and then put local community businesses in the map also.
You got to give me that info. My son will be crazy for that, bro. That is great.
Yeah.
So did you create your own video game, or was this something you created for like Fortnite?
Yeah, it's something that we started off.
And this is from a non-gamer here, so I don't really know what the heck I'm talking about.
And you don't have kids, so
I don't. Yeah, I'm totally out.
So we started off getting into Fortnite and started creating our own map. The reason why we did that because it was user friendly and getting all the kids involved. Our main objective was three things: was one, to combat suicide with veterans.
All right.
Two, honor the fallen, and three, combat youth violence and gang violence that's going on in the community.
Okay.
Love that. That is good. Yeah.
So we're going to combat gang violence with shoot 'em ups.
Well, hey, it's better online. It's better online than in real life.
So
you know?
yeah. I was at that new arcade by the Segra Stadium. Is that Saul's?
Yeah, I
arcade.
think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, good. We have shooting games to teach the youth how to Well, conserve ammo, I guess.
This comes from my guy who concealed carry. Just like I was preaching on Sunday and shared how I had a assault rifle that I keep by my bed, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't use that as part of my sermon. That's probably not a good idea.
Pastor staying strapped. They're going to get clapped. So so that's how it made it to come to fruition. Was like a skin for Fortnite, I guess, or something.
It's the same thing as, like, people always say that with gaming, but it's the same thing with movies. We teach you how to shoot a movie instead of a gun.
Okay.
So now we teach you how to code. So if you see AI and everything's taken off, where I see where Fayetteville lack at is jobs that's making six figures and keeping the students here.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring. I went to Silicon Valley. I went to Minnesota, and I spoke. And if we could get those Fortune 500 companies, even the 10th place company or the 20th company, they making $100 million a year. If we could get them here, then we can actually open up jobs and, get the colleges to open up programs.
So what do we need education-wise to foster these jobs or incubate those jobs here? What do we need?
STEM in
high
schools.
STEM in high school?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely with that. If you see, like, North Carolina State is really getting into esports, NC State just got $16 million to build the esports facility, and that could be great here as well.
Electronic sports.
Exactly. So we are way behind the power curve.
Yeah, look at that. Peter's like, what?
I'm in the wrong business.
Yes, we're way behind the power curve. And we got the staff here with Fort Bragg. And then when people retire at Fort Bragg and, got the top secrets, what they do, they leave. And my main objective is to keep everybody here and put money into Cumberland County.
Are there enough people leaving Fort Bragg? I know there's a talent and brain drain from Fort Bragg when they retire. I think it's $6,000 a year, and about 30% we lose completely. Mm-hmm. They return back home, whatever. So it's about 60 or 70% that remain. So of the people that are retiring or just transitioning out, are there enough people to feed an industry like that?
Yeah. See, the whole difference is it's hybrid as well.
Okay.
So when you actually start bringing infrastructure here, people don't know about the new military. The new military is the guys that do 4-year contracts and get out.
Yep.
And there's a lot of guys like that, that's coming out. They get their top secret clearance and they start doing their tech and stuff like that, and then they come out into the working world.
They go from making 40 to 140 like that.
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm saying. If we could get them to stay here, and I always tell people, even in Spring Lake, and it's you could have less taxes. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to deal with Fayetteville as a whole, but if we could bring that to Spring Lake as well, we could build up Spring Lake and get
No. I want them to deal with Fayetteville because they'll have higher incomes. They'll help. They'll buy nice houses. They'll eat good restaurants. They're going to foster the economy
those
here.
Jobs is minimum 70, 80.
Okay. So you mentioned STEM in high school, but then we're also speaking of military. I'm going to call them retirees, but they're not all. They're just contract dudes that are getting out. So that's kind of compressed. So you're trying to build up and kind of retain.
Yep. And then on top of that, we're trying to transition. So now you transition that young man who play games in the street to coding the games. So now he know at 15 I could take care of my mother at 17 if I learn Python, STEM, AI, because sometimes we're too far out of reach. And it'd be like 38-year-olds out of reach. Right. And these 15-year-olds are ahead of the game 10 times ahead of us.
That's because they got time on their hands.
Are you going to entice some kind of program to get the generation like mine, it's 50 plus years old, to get us more involved and maybe learn stuff like that?
And
can you teach an old dog new tricks? Is what we're asking.
Of course, because the love they have for their family and their child and their community makes them want to learn and be a part of it. And then the protection they want for their children, they want to learn as well.
So, so this is not because I've always kind of associated Tony Brown with youth programs and keeping the kids from hurting each other and all. And that's kind of where I had you. That's where I store you up here.
Level, I mean,
but this is
video game development, and again, STEM is my daughter. Matter of fact, her senior thesis was on STEM.
Okay.
It's going to be a collaborative effort. It has to be. And even with election, I got a team that we started a new movement called What Vote. And we all have a collective group, Republicans, Democrats, and just independent guys who want to come with our own little ideas and vote as one, and then we have accountability after that where we holding the people that we put in place accountable as well. But we also have to meet you halfway, because I feel that a lot of us blame politicians a lot, but what I did was buy property off of Murchison, and I said, hey, I'm going to buy this. Instead of building houses, I'm going to build a garden, and I'm going to do other things. I'm going to meet you halfway, meet my city halfway. and help out our city.
How is that going? I've been down there. I mean, you had a lot of young men sweating their tails off.
Where you at on the Merc?
You know where Jamaica Kitchen is?
Oh, yeah.
Right behind it.
Okay, awesome.
It took me about 9 months to build it.
You still got those ornery billy goats?
Oh, no, we put them in Rayford.
Okay.
Yeah, because City of Fayetteville probably said something about having
it was more the Murchison Coyotes over there. They were trying to
wow.
They were running down on my goats. Tearing them up.
So that's the community garden, right?
Yes, that was the
essentially, and that's where
garden.
you. So tell me about what all goes on there. Don't you? You teach them, you send them home with. So tell me about that process.
So the holistic community garden process is I wanted to build an area. I noticed that it's a food desert out there. So what we did was create a grow bag program. So we bring the families out there, teach them how to grow natural foods. But instead of saying broccoli, we say Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. So they learn how to build their credit as they grow food. So now they take those grow bags home. And if you have probably like 30 or 40 doors in an apartment complex, we have like 5 go squash, 5 go zucchini, 5 go kale, and they all come together and make a meal. And the great part about making that meal, because when we was younger, we didn't have bread. Where do we go? Now nobody knows their neighbor.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you go to Miss Johnson for the potatoes and all this other stuff, then everybody comes together. And you turn the community into a family, into a village. And I want to get back to that. And that was just one aspect of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the mental health part, because like I said, it's a solace oasis area. That's where I brought the young men, and I taught them how to meditate and calm down their anger. And then all that aggression, and know how to breathe, and meditate. So, and that was another part. Then I started getting the idea I should do more events here because of the atmosphere. It's more outdoor, more, fresh air, stuff like that.
Okay. But you've been doing that for a while now. How many years have you been doing
2
that?
years.
2 years.
2
okay.
years.
And you're not a native farmer, are you?
Oh, no. I learned in the agriculture from basically here.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And it's one of those things, right? You just you go, you do, you try. A couple chickens die, and then you got to feed them more.
Right? It is sometimes too in life. You guided by a higher power. And that higher power guides you in the right direction, and does those mistakes comes lessons, and it turns into blessings. So that's what feeds me. It's come through me, through him. So,
okay.
Hard to explain.
So where do you find youth in order to help you, or where do you find the people that you're?
I partner up with the Juvenile Justice Department, and I partner up with, and I go to the high schools. I talk to the counselors, and most of all, when you start doing things, you start attracting the people that's need. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of, I'm not saying religious reasons, but sometimes a church attract the people they need. And they go to certain pastors that they feel comfortable with. They feel comfortable there because they see people like them there. I have guys who I literally had millionaires there to all the way to guys who just got out of prison. And they're having conversations, talk about the same pain points that they're growing up with. So pain comes in many forms, and then you give guys an outlet, then it's easier for them to express themselves in a different way than holding it in,
That was something that I really wanted to see in our community is the youth that is here and that does start doing positive things, go back into their community and get another youth and bring them forth so that we can spread it on to their kids and their kids and so on and so forth.
Yeah. See, one of the situations that I did was start in this program that I got, a lot of brothers that came out of prison. So I started noticing sometimes the education comes in form of a person too, because it's not about, I always say communication is the key, but comprehension is the lock. And sometimes you have to learn how somebody comprehend, and sometimes comprehension comes in a form of a person. So what I do is educate the person that's coming out of prison and reform, and he goes out there, open up a business, and go to his own community and start cleaning up and getting the kids from his community. So now they're seeing somebody that walked that path already, that went to jail, and telling them, listen, this is not the way. And I'm on top of that, I'm going to get you a job, and you're going to work with me. So that's mentorship in different forms.
That's beautiful.
And I've seen those guys work, so I can attest that you don't have enough energy to go raise your hand to your fellow man if you've been working out in the field.
No.
Those guys definitely were working it. Yeah.
And you start noticing when people come together for a common goal, your differences go out the window. Yep. I noticed that here when I first came out here. Hurricane, I think it was Florence. I made the news for that, for going out there and building rules and stuff in the middle of a hurricane. And I noticed that Fayetteville was together, and then as that came, it just started slowly going apart. But I don't want us to come together for disasters. I want to come together for love, and that's the only thing that's going to stop a lot of this, animosity we got just because we feel like we right or left, different things like that. We got to understand that the youngin is our future, and if they see us bickering, then what you think they're going to do?
Well, I normally ask the people running for office this, but do you think it's the job of the government to raise our kids?
I think it's both-fold, because you come with the government right educational programs, and we all know that what happened to woodshop, what happened to trades, that didn't come from us. You see what I'm saying? That came from the government. Now, the government responsibility is to put those educational programs back into high schools, so now we can raise our kids and show them different diversity. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I say it's twofold. We're not pointing fingers. We're looking for solutions. So I hope the government come in, put more STEM programs in high school, put more woodshop programs, some plumbing, electrical programs in high schools. You know what I'm saying? And then we could come together and raise these kids and put them in these programs and get them hands-on training.
Okay. So maybe put forth some kind of sales pitch to the Board of Education, and perhaps we could do something like that. Yeah, and that's where I've been traveling to Silicon Valley, different things like that, because money talking. If they can get their tax breakers, it's hard living in Silicon Valley, 100,000 and stuff like that. But if they come out here, we can actually bring that workforce here, and then
what they can do with that money out here is like.
And realistically, Spring Lake has a lot of empty land.
Yeah. It's a $300 billion a year industry. All I ask when I go anywhere and I go and speak to them is 1%.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? 1% is $300 million a year. So if we could just get 1% here to Cumberland County and introduce it in North Carolina, because NC State, Raleigh, and Charlotte, they're already on it. They're already investing in their college $16 million. We can do that here. We can actually change this trajectory and lower crime.
Yeah. I know we had the guys from Dedicated Fathers on, and they worked through Snyder.
They did.
Memorial Baptist. Don't know if you connected with them, but they got a heart for, like I do, for the community. And, I think I absolutely, as a pastor, would love to sit down and talk and touch base and see how we could partner. And those guys, too. I know they do a mentorship program.
They do.
Feeding. They go to the more impoverished areas and just help young men out.
What are the ages that you have out of the farm?
I think 6 all the way to about 35.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these they getting arrested at 20, doing 10 years.
Yes.
And coming home, so we got to rehabilitate them and bring them back into it, and then I go out there and get them jobs. So my main process is to give them traction with action. So a lot of people only know about love with attention. You know what I'm saying? So now it's not like we just saying, here, come here and do that and checking some boxes. No, we're going to walk this path with you. So we're going to give you an overnight job Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday through Thursday you're going to go to school because we want you stuck at this job. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Job, to me, is journey of the broke. You was one paycheck from being broke, but we're going to need you career, long-lasting. You see what I'm saying? Build up your credit, get our EWEL policy, put a trust in, different things like that, longevity, because the middle class is about to be done,
Yeah. How are you finding housing in the area for these people that do come out of prison and are looking for a job? Because I know the prices are outrageous.
And what's the wild part? It's not even the housing is the issue. It's the fact that the rules of the housing is the issue. So if you have a felony, right, I can't get you. I need to put you in the same area where you probably committed your felony to change the minds. And say, like, if I change to be an electrician, now you're making $50,000 a year and you can't get an apartment because you got a felony.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a credit card swipe or fraud or something like that. It's not even like a murder or anything. I'm like, now how am I going to get these guys an apartment? They totally rehabilitate their life. They got 5 years for a credit card fraud or driving without license, whatever the case may be. But now they can't get into an apartment.
Yep.
So now you see where the government comes in at. You see what I'm saying? I understand the felony, but sometimes we got to be lenient on what type of felonies we could get them apartments as well.
So are they not able to participate with Section 8 or anything? Is there any help for them there? No?
Section 8, some of them Section 8 housing has, you can't be a felon and be in it.
It's just, it's a dead-end road. It's like there's...
So you beat somebody up for trying now and changing their life around. Like, you get a felon for tax evasion.
Yeah,
It's not violent.
You get 34 of them, from what I understand. If you're in New York, they go from 1 to 34 real quick. And they go from misdemeanor to felony pretty quickly.
New York, man. You get arrested once.
Well, I figured out that TV hat. I thought you from down south.
That's Tony Brown.
Oh, that's not my Rays, right? Bay Rays. Okay.
Okay. So, is there anything? So, what's new going on that you want to discuss, or are we just catching up here?
August 11th, I think 6 p.m., 6:30. The mayor blessed me with the key to the city.
Okay.
For all the works I've been doing. So I will hope to see all of you out there.
Very nice.
And that's when they were talking about the one vote movement and bringing. I got probably like 500-600 people under me so far in the state of North Carolina, from Wilmington to Raleigh to Charlotte and Greensville. So we're going to start working on these major areas and lower these crime across the board. Hopefully, I can speak to Ed Buffalo, and the governor as well. Josh Stein, he's a good brother when I met him a couple of times. And we can sit down and we can implement a lot of these programs with the Golden Leaf. Same thing we have at FTCC and all these other places, And I got the guys that's the boots on the ground that's going to come clean up and making sure that things go right.
So your main push right now is what programs do you want to try to see or granted by the state or federal?
The esports trade program, the filming programs, because these type of programs create multiple jobs. So say like we do a little short film, anti-bullying. Now the kids are learning how to protect themselves against bullying. Same thing I did with human trafficking.
Right.
And on top of that, now we have a veteran that don't like to be in front of the camera. He could play music and use that as a score. And now he could mentor the youth as well to do makeup or whatever the case may be. The young lady who wants to be a makeup artist. Now we're doing FX, and then we bring up her makeup skills even higher. And she learned this at 14, 15.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So anything that will bring financial restitution to the community and jobs, multiple jobs, just by doing one thing, And then after that, if you do a film where the people need to eat 3 times a day, so now we got catering. We can actually bring them.
Oh yeah,
back
there's.
To the
Yeah, I mean,
we can put a lot of money back into our community with this, with everybody joining together.
Well, what you're describing is more of a base job. It's like a manufacturing job that naturally they bring people and then it spreads out.
Well, you think about Jay Cole and what he did with Dreamville. I mean, he was able to do the number of jobs, finances. Just it goes beyond just the man's music.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
It's people selling T-shirts that made $2,000 that weekend.
Right.
So it's a lot. It's a lot. We can get off this and bring some of these childhood celebrities here.
Well, we certainly got plenty of talent that came through Fayetteville.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We definitely do. And I still haven't met J. Cole though.
me either. That's weird.
I don't know.
So I'll drop that my son has. He did quite a few of his early videos.
I met
and stuff like that.
the basketball brother. I forgot his name. He has a basketball tournament off the Merc, but J. Cole, he's really like,
Well, he's always been well received back at home, and he seems to be a decent guy. I mean, he doesn't seem to be getting in too much trouble out. And which maybe he needs to a little bit. He deserves it. He worked hard.
I would like to speak to him personally, on a few things, because I hear he's a good brother, and we sort of align in a lot of things. So definitely, J. Cole, if you're out there, I'd love to have a sit and have a conversation with you.
J. Cole, come on the cabinet anytime you want.
Definitely.
Every time I drive by your street and I see that they had the city mounted the street sign really high because they kept stealing it.
Yeah.
It's like every time I drive by there, I just smile a little bit, like
acquiring it.
Yes, acquiring it. There's an acronym in the military.
Repositioning it so that you can't.
Yeah. So Tony, what else you got in mind? Where can people find you and learn more about your programs?
You can reach me online at mrtonybrown.com, or you can hit me through email, tonyubrown@southernccINC.org. That's SOUTHERNCCINC.org, or 718-344-7378. That's my contact number.
I hope you're going to post that on.
We're going to post all that.
Really fast.
Yeah, he's really he's that Brooklyn in him. So look,
that's right.
Jim's the man. He's got it all covered.
Our show's coming to a close. I do want to say a thank you to my on-air cabinet member, Pastor Joshua Goodman, Ms. Laura Musler, Good morning again. And my off-camera producer, Jim, here, always parachuting in. And to Mr. Tony Brown joining us in the final half hour. So to our audience, I hope you'll do us a favor this week to visit one of our commercial sponsors and let them know you heard their message right here on the Carolina Cabinet. If you do somehow miss an episode of our top-rated show, you can find us everywhere on your favorite podcast broadcaster, Apple, Spotify, Google, or everywhere. Look for us online at Look for us online at thecarolinacabinet.com, where you can find all of our videos and links. And thanks again for tuning in this morning. Until next time, we are the Carolina Cabinet.